Welcome back to BucNews. I'm Braden Hawley.
And I'm Faith Vance. 3, 2, 1, splashdown. For the first time in 50 years, NASA has sent a crew of astronauts back to the moon. Artemis II is a 10-day lunar flyby that launched on April 1st. This mission marks the debut of the Artemis program and the first test of the Orion spacecraft. The mission will also set the record for the farthest away a human has ever been from Earth. If the mission is successful, it will pave the way for future missions to the moon and beyond. The crew is expected to splash down off the coast of San Diego this evening around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The SGA student elections have officially come to an end. Shelby Corton will continue her role as president, while Macy Miller has been voted in as her new executive vice president, and Audie Brown is the vice president of finance and administration. There were some new names voted in as senators, including BucNews' very own Eric Trejo. Eric has been named a senator for the College of Business and Technology. Congratulations to everyone who was elected, and a special congratulations to Eric.
An ETSU professor was recently awarded one of the highest honors in the field of pharmacy. Dr. Caitlin Alexander is the Director of Experiential Education at the Bill Gatton College of Pharmacy. She was recently inducted as a Fellow of the American Pharmacists Association. Dr. Alexander has been a member of the APHA since 2011. She was one of the founding members of the ETSU Charitable Pharmacy. They work to provide access to medication for uninsured patients around the Tri-Cities. This award recognizes all her hard work, both for the APHA and our ETSU community.
Next Friday, April 18th, the Muslim Student Association is putting together their annual Eid banquet. This event celebrates Eid al-Fitr, the festival of breaking the fast, which is a major 3-day Islamic holiday that marks the end of Ramadan and fasting. This banquet is open to all students and will feature food, henna art, painting, prizes, and much more. Registration information for the event can be found on the club's Instagram page at ETSU_MSA. Be sure to bring friends and a good appetite.
The ETSU Wellness Initiative is providing our campus community with educational opportunities, resources, and support as we enter the month of April. April is recognized as Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and there are 2 more opportunities to get involved. The next event is a conversation surrounding alcohol and consent. It will take place on April 13th and April 29th. You can participate in Denim Day, a gesture that has served as a symbol of support among and on behalf of survivors for 24 years. All events will take place at noon in the Culp Main Street. To learn more, visit @ETSU Wellness on Instagram. The ETSU chapter of the International Justice Mission is hosting an event for a good cause. Threads, a pop-up thrift shop where students can donate or purchase clothes. All proceeds will go towards IJM's mission of ending modern-day slavery. Interested in showing your support? Threads will take place on April 13th from 10 to 2 in the Borchuk Plaza.
As the semester wraps up, there are many important academic dates on the way. The last day of class will be Thursday, April 30th, with final exams the following week on May 2nd through 7th. Commencement ceremonies will take place on Saturday, May 9th, and final grades are due by May 11th. Registration for fall classes is now open. Check your Go link to see when you can register. Hang in there, Bucks. There's just a few weeks left. As classes come to an end, so does tennis season. Coming up, the Lady Bucks' final tennis match and fly fishing Fridays.
We've reviewed all the reentry procedures and activities, and we are good to go.
NASA teams on Earth preparing for the red-hot re-entry of the Orion spacecraft, currently racing back to our planet after the Artemis II astronauts' historic journey around the moon.
Orion remains healthy. It's been working fantastic.
NASA specialists on the ground busy checking a lot of boxes.
I have a whole checklist in my head. The drogues have to come out, the main chutes have to deploy, the reefing systems have to cut, separation between the service module and the crew module, the heat shield that has to work.
Orion is expected to splash down in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of California at just after 8 p.m. Eastern Time Friday. But first, the Artemis II crew must complete perhaps the most daunting milestone of the journey, re-entry, piercing the thick inner band of Earth's atmosphere at incredible speeds and temperatures.
Inside the vehicle, the spacecraft systems, it's a nice 75 degrees, so kind of like a winter day in Houston.
During re-entry outside the spacecraft, much hotter, roughly 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, about a half as hot as the surface of the sun. The capsule racing in at nearly 25,000 miles per hour, decelerating at a rate of nearly 4 times the force of gravity.
It's not so much 13 minutes, it's more in my head about an hour and a half of things that have to go right.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Of course I want to win this tournament. I don't really need to try any harder. Do you know what I mean? So I think trying harder is probably, I just think the experience in that is probably trying harder ain't going to help me. So that's probably the dance I'm doing with myself. I know intrinsically how much the intrinsic motivation's there. So it's about then the execution and typically when you play your best golf, you always lighten it up rather than get more intense.
Welcome back to BucNews. I'm Braden Hawley. This weekend marks the end of the regular season for tennis, and ETSU's own women's tennis team is currently tied for the top spot of the Southern Conference, with an overall record of 13-6 and an undefeated record of 6-0 within the conference. This Saturday, the Bucks take on Furman, who they are currently tied for first place with. So this match will decide the first seed going into the SoCon tournament happening next weekend. The Lady Bucks seek to get revenge for the end of last season, which was a match against Furman that ended with ETSU losing 2-5.
The college basketball offseason is well underway, and the transfer portal is filling up quickly. The ETSU men's basketball team is already feeling the effects of the transfer portal. 4 Buccaneers have entered so far. Among them are 3 starters. Blake Barkley, Isaiah Sutherland, Jalen Smith, and Gabe Sisk have all announced their intention to enter the transfer portal. Head coach Brooks Savage will look to rebuild and maintain ETSU's spot on top of the SoCon.
We have breezed our way through the NCAA March Madness basketball tournament, with both the men's and women's tournaments having crowned their champion. Michigan outlasted UConn 69-63 to capture their first men's title since 1989. UCLA obliterated South Carolina in a 79-51 thrashing in the women's tournament. As we move on, college baseball is getting into the bulk of the season, with ETSU's next home fixture being a 3-game SoCon clash with the Citadel, starting next Friday, the 17th at 5 p.m. and additional games that Saturday and Sunday.
Are you fishing for a new adventure? ETSU's Outdoor Adventure program is taking students fly fishing every Friday of this month, and the event is free. All you need is a TWRA issued fishing license, which can be purchased online at gooutdoorstennessee.com or in person at places like Walmart and sporting goods stores. The last 2 trips for the month are on April 17th and 24th. Each lasting from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Fishing gear, transportation, and supplies are all provided. Registration is now open and closes the day before each trip. Visit campusrec.etsu.edu, navigate to Outdoor Adventure, and click on Fly Fishing to register.
Are you ready to feel the beat? The Marching Bucks Band registration is officially open for the fall 2026 season. If you love community, music, and the rush of applause, Marching Band may be for you. Directed by J.D. Moore and Timothy Lohman, this organization has been featured from local stadiums to New York City, always prioritizing family, pride, and passion. To apply for the 2026 season, talk to your advisor about registering for Marching Band or email J.D. Moore at moorejd@etsu.edu. Coming up next, our very own Nevaeh Manning interviewed the assistant director of Carrie the Musical, Dallas Lindsay, and then we take a look at the upcoming SGA concert.
Pink is headed to Broadway. The performer and theater fanatic is set to host this year's Tony Awards. Pink said in a statement, "Broadway has shaped my life and how I put my own shows together," and called stage actors the literal hardest working people in showbiz. The 79th annual Tony Awards take place June 7th. The Royal Ballet's performance of Giselle is coming to a movie theater near you. The tragic love story screens on Sunday and Monday only. Check fathomentertainment.com for locations and showtimes.
The owner's having a little trouble, I guess, and I'm here to clean it up.
Prime Video is expanding its on-screen sign language interpretation. It's now available on 18 more Prime original movies such as Roadhouse and Red, White, and Royal Blue. On-screen interpreters' facial expressions and body language can provide more nuance than captions alone. You can scroll to the Accessible Movies and TV collection on Prime. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Welcome back to BucNews. I'm Braden Hawley.
And I'm Faith Vance. We are a week away from Carrie the Musical, and here's a little inside scoop on what's to come in the near future.
Carrie the Musical is based on the book by Stephen King from like the 70s. It's about a girl who gets bullied by all of her classmates. But one girl, Chris Hargensen, is fed up because she got kicked out of the prom, and so she blames Carrie for it all, and so she decides to pull a prank on her during prom. And of course she doesn't know that Carrie has telekinesis and powers. So once she does her little mayhem, it all goes to crap. everything goes awry. I think if you enjoy the horror genre, you love musicals, dance numbers, and all that, it's a very fun time. And also if you want to learn something. I mean, I think this musical talks about, like, the big undertone of it is what it costs to be kind. That's like a big underlying thing of the whole musical. So I think this teaches people, like, how to be good people. Like, even though we don't know what someone's going through, this person, they need to treat people with respect and kindness.
The Lakeside Concert Series will soon be returning to Wing Deer Park, and Johnson City wants your help choosing a new logo. There are 3 logo options, all featuring lake vibes, summer colors, and a guitar. The colors will be adjusted after the winning logo is chosen. The survey is 1 question and does not require signing up. Scan this QR code to vote. It has not been announced how long the survey will be open, so vote soon. Catch the concerts on Thursdays evenings from 7 to 9 p.m. in May and June.
American roots legend Maria Muldaur is coming to our campus for a special event. Best known for her Grammy-nominated hit, Midnight at the Oasis, Muldaur has spent more than 6 decades shaping genres. From folk and blues to jazz, gospel, and Americana, the event, An Evening with Maria Muldaur, will feature a moderated discussion followed by a live performance with special guests. The event takes place on Friday, April 10th from 7 to 9:30 p.m. in the Reese Museum. It is free and open to the public. For more information, contact the event coordinator, Roy Andrade, through the ETSU event calendar website.
The global K-pop phenomenon is coming to ETSU next week. Forever K-pop, a celebration concert, will take the stage at the ETSU Martin Center for the Arts on Tuesday, April 14th at 7 p.m. The high-energy show features live singers and dancers performing hit songs from groups like BTS and Blackpink. Inspired by the film K-pop Demon Hunters, this celebration combines choreography, vocals, and cinematic visuals for a full concert experience. Tickets start at $45 and are now available on the Martin Center's website.
The Spring Student Government Association concert is almost here. On Wednesday, April 15th at 7 p.m., ETSU will present Nashville and Texas-based country group Flatland Cavalry at Freedom Hall Civic Center. Since their rise in 2014, the group has shared the stage with many country favorites like Willie Nelson and Luke Combs. Opening up the event is country singer Gretchen Wilson, who won the Grammy for Best Female Country Vocal Performance in 2011. Student tickets sold out fast and only a few public tickets remain, so be sure to get yours now. Stay tuned for research days, trumpet recitals, and everyone's favorite segment, Snowdle Says.
Pokemon Champions is setting aside the franchise's RPG elements to focus on battling.
In Pokemon Champions, you'll be able to do the classic turn-based battling that Pokemon fans have come to know and love. It will be the sole focus of this title to recruit Pokemon, train Pokemon, and battle Pokemon with other trainers from around the world.
Dedicated Pokemon players can import characters from previous games into Champions through the Pokemon Home app. But that doesn't mean you have to have played a Pokemon game before.
We've got a recruitment feature in the game where you will essentially go and pick kind of from the Pokemon of the day, and you will be able to either recruit for temporary, or you can recruit them full-time to your team.
Champions will be featured on this year's Pokemon competitive circuit.
If you want to end up competing, at our regionals or even at your local hobby shops, that's something you can do. If you simply just want to play in some casual ranked matches in the game itself, you can also do that.
Pokemon Champions is out now for Nintendo Switch consoles, with a mobile device version slated for later this year. Leveling up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
Welcome back to BucNews. I'm Braden Hawley. Students from ETSU are making a global impact traveling to rural communities in Panama to deliver much-needed health care. As part of the Global Brigades program, more than 36 students helped run multiple clinics providing care to hundreds of patients in areas with limited medical access. Beyond treating patients, students also gained hands-on experience in public health, conducting research and learning how cultural and environmental factors affect healthcare. For many, it was their first time working in resource-limited settings, an experience that challenged them to adapt and communicate across language barriers. Organizers say the trip not only helped communities in need, but also shaped students into more compassionate future healthcare providers.
My name is William Odell, and this is your Snowdell Says segment. To the folks out there that haven't been a fan of the cold mornings, don't fret. A big-time warm-up is poised to make its way into northeast Tennessee next week, with early June-like temperatures overtaking the area by early next week. Highs will soar into the mid to even upper 80s by this coming Tuesday here in Johnson City, with lows in the mid to upper 50s most mornings and highs staying well into the 80s all the way into next weekend. Additionally, there are no signs of any rain over the next 7 days, making next week a great week to get outside. That's it for Snowdell Says. Back to you.
Looks like a great weekend for some golf. Thanks for the weather update, Odell. The ETSU Music Department is having a trumpet recital this Sunday, the 11th at 2 p.m. It will be hosted at the Martin Center for the Arts, and admission is free. What makes this recital so special is that this is their first recital back from the National Trumpet Competition. The Trumpets went all the way to Iowa over spring break. They faced schools from our own conference and others, including UNC Greensboro, the University of Florida, and Baylor.
The university is set to host the 2026 Dr. J.W. Boland Research Day on Wednesday, April 15th. The event brings together student research, creative projects, community engagement into one unified showcase. Attendees can expect poster sessions, oral presentations, creative displays, and a community engagement showcase featuring work from undergraduate and graduate students. Students involved in community service and engaged learning were invited to participate in the showcase, highlighting the university's strong connection to community and research. Stay tuned for next week's episode, where our very own BucNews reporter, Natalie Campbell, will be on site covering the event.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode of BucNews. I'm Braden Hawley.
And I'm Faith Vance. Tune in next week for more campus news. Bye.
Bye.